Okay, so let's talk about today's question, which is often coined as the interviewer's most favorite question in programming. We're talking about the Fibonacci series. What basically is a Fibonacci series? It's a series of where elements are printed from 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. The pattern that follows here is that every element is actually the sum of its previous two elements. For 3 you can see it's 1 plus 2, 5 is 2 plus 3, 8 is 3 plus 5. These values are printed up to a certain number n. The brute force method, the first approach that anyone can think of is applying this method. Let's say we have got a function Fibonacci wherein we pass the value n that is given to us. The first thing that we can think of is when will this return the value 0? If we have a 0 value, so if n is equal to 0, it shall return 0. It will return 1 for the sum of previous one, so if n is equal to 1, it will return 1. Now for the following elements, what is needs to be done? Well, the answer is in the question itself. The sum of this is actually equal to the sum of previous two elements. So if this is n, this is n minus 1 and this is n minus 2. So what we simply do is we return fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2, and that's it. That's a solution. But there is a slight problem in this approach. What is that? Is let's execute it for, let's say, fib of 5. If we run this program for value n is equal to 5, what we get? We get, since it's not equal to 0, not equal to 1, we get this fib of 4 and fib of 3. The summation of these two shall give 5. What will happen next? We get fib of 3, fib of 2. For 3 we get fib of 2, fib of 1. For 2 we get fib of 1, fib of 0. So here we get a terminating condition. Since these values can return, so we stop for this. For 3 we get fib of 2, fib of 1, and for 2 once again we get fib of 0, fib of 1. Another value that's left here is fib of 1, fib of 0. This is how it will be solved. Let's trace back it and find the values that will be get. For fib of 2 we get 0, 1. The summation of this is 1. For fib of 3 we get 1 and fib of 1 is 1, so we get 1 from here, 1 from here, we get 2. Again we see that fib of 2 is here, we know that the value is 1, so we simply write it 1. For fib of 4 we get 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 3. Over to the right side we get fib of 2 value 1, fib of 1 value 1, we get fib of 3 is equal to 2, so this equals 3 plus 2, 5, and that's a solution. So what is the problem here? The problem is in the execution and its runtime complexity. When we execute this program in this way, the runtime complexity, since for every execution it grows exponentially, since every node goes by 2, has 2 children, so it will give out a logarithm runtime complexity of 2 to the power n, since it grows exponentially. Now how do we solve this problem? Well, first of all, what is the problem? You say that for 2 to the power 4 it will simply give 16. There's no error. But what if our n is a 6-digit number, 1 2 3 4 5 6? Just imagine what will be the value of 2 to the power n. That will be a large value which will halt your program. So in order to solve this, we go up with memoization. The memoization approach is quite simple. From the previous question, we can see that this fib of 2 is occurring several times. So is the fib of 3, fib of 1, and we already happen to know these values. So why shouldn't we use them to reduce these occurrences at once? That is where memoization takes place. What memoization simply does is, for whatever value we have once reached, it just stores that value. And that's it. There is a solution. In order to implement it, let's see the program. We declare a basic array, a blank array memo, and we pass it in our Fibonacci function. Tn memo. The same logic. If n is equal to 0, it should return 0. If n is equal to 1, it should return 1. And if and if we'll do here. For this also we should have done else if, and simply now we return fibo, but we do n minus 1 comma memo. We don't return this one, we do memo of n is equal to plus fib of n minus 2 comma memo. And this is our solution to this program. We simply return the memo of n. Now let us see how this program works and why is it a better approach than our previous solution. We will pass our values in the program. So we are given some n equals to 5. So for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, we call our function. We just simply print it. I is fib of n comma I comma memo. That is what we are passing. I memo is our empty array currently. We have passed this, and what we get? For the first time, I is equal to 0, which is passed. So a program runs for fib of 0. What do we get? We get 0. For fib of 1, for the next value of I, what do we get? We get 1. Now comes fib of 2. It's neither 0 nor 1, so our memoization takes place. Memo of 2. Now what this does is simply it stores these values. So it goes 1 plus 0 is equal to 1, and it is stored in memo of 2. Fibonacci of 3. That is the next value of I. What does this? It does fib of 2 plus fib of 1. As we know, it's n minus 1 plus n minus 2. We know from our previous that it is equal to memo of 2. so we simply do this, and this value is 1, so we get our answer output 2. Now we have for fib of 4, which is our final value. What do we get for this? Fib of 3, which is n minus 1 plus n minus 2, fib of 2. We have both of our values previously stored in memoization, so we get 2 from here, we get 1 from here, which is equal to 3. And in this way, what is the output that we get? We get for 0 we get 0, for 1 we get 1, for 2 we get 1, for 3 we get 2, and for 4 we get 3. 5 values are printed. Now what is the runtime complexity of this program? Well, the runtime complexity, since it executes all the programs easily, let's do it again. Fib of 5, we get fib of 4, fib of 3, fib of 3, fib of 2, fib of 2, fib of 1. From our execution, we have memoization of 2, which is equal to 1, so our value goes here. We know for fib of 1 we have 1, so we get 2. Now the value is already calculated and stored, so simply this goes here. We get 2 plus 1, 3. For 3 we have a fib of 3 memoized, memo of 3, which is equal to 2, so this will simply return 2. 3 plus 2 will give us 5. The execution or the runtime complexity of this program is simply big O of n. And in this way we have converted a algorithm from big O of 2n to big O of n, which is much smaller, much faster approach.